welcome all. I'm Pushkar Yadav again, back with my new podcast session. So today we have with us Akash Yadav, who is also an alumni of IIM Kozhikode, one of the oldest IIMs, and is currently working in Credit Suisse as a design scenario economist, and has also worked with ICICI Bank and Oracle. And it's great to have you here, Akash. So how are you, Akash?
I'm great. I'm great, Pushkar. I hope you are good too.
Yeah, I'm also doing great. So, Akash, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, sure. So I'll start with from where I belong. I am from Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh. I did my schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya Ujjain itself. After that, I did my computer science and engineering from Triple IT Jabalpur. During that period, I did a 6 month internship in Oracle, as you rightly said. After that, I did my MBA from IIM Kozhikode. So during that, I did my internship in Mahindra Comviva. That was also a IT firm. And if I have to highlight something from that period, I took part in many case competitions. I won some, I lost some. So I think that was one significant part from that MBA part. After that, I joined ICICI. There, I worked in interest rate derivative valuation field. That was a hardcore finance job. And then in June 2021, I joined the scenario design team at Credit Suisse, where I mainly work on macroeconomic factor projections for various countries and the risk part of it. So basically, it's in the market risk domain where I particularly work on macroeconomics.
All right, that was really nice and a great introduction. You told about all your journey, where you have been through and where you have worked through. So, I would like to let you know that we have our audience as MBA aspirants and many other
Yes.
students who are going to pursue MBA. So, as you are from the one of the oldest IIM Kozhikode, so how did you prepare your CAT, and you can tell our audience that how can they prepare for CAT and crack CAT?
So basically, my CAT preparation was a very different one to a traditional one because, as I said, in final year in my college, we had a choice of doing an internship in seventh semester. So for 6 months, I was in Bangalore doing a full-time internship in Oracle. So before that, in third year itself, I started preparing for CAT. But as you know, the preparation are done in last 6 months only. So during that internship period, I used to solve a lot of online papers, last year paper, sample papers on each and every part of CAT. So I think that helped me a lot. And because I think I had a backup, I received a PPO from Oracle as well. So I think because I had a backup of that, I was more I was more free. I was not very much under pressure when I was attempting CAT. So that boosted my confidence in a way, and I performed well. After that, when I received a good percentile, then I took it seriously, and then I started preparing for interviews as well. So I think that period where when I was in Bangalore, where I used to solve sample papers a lot, that helped me a lot.
All right, all right. So you mean to say you were working also and you were solving past year papers. So it might
Yes, yes.
have
Sometimes
been a challenging also.
Sometimes I used to solve them in office also.
Oh,
I hope my former colleagues are not watching this.
oh, okay, okay. That's really very conscious and very dedicated towards the CAT exam that you were solving your papers in the office. That's really great. So apart from CAT, you also give any other entrance exam, or you were mainly focused on CAT?
No, I did give a lot of exams like NMAT and ZAT and every other exams like that. But I was sure that I will not I will not join any college that I'm not fully satisfied with. Shall I say that? Because as I said that I was not it was not something that I was hoping to get it in first time only. I had some backup, I had a job, so maybe I could have tried after a year or after 2 years with some work ex. So if I was not satisfied with the specific college or what it had to offer, then I would have attempted after a one year or 1 year or two. So that's why I did not apply for all the MBA exams. Maybe I would have after a year or so. But I did apply for major exams like NMAT, ZAT, and all.
All right. So you have gone for every exam that MBA in MBA exam there are there, like in maths,
Yes,
math, and
major ones. Yes.
all right. All right, that's great. So, Akash, as you're working as a design scenario economist, so can you explain your day-to-day responsibilities to our audience and viewers? Like, what is your role?
Yes. So basically, this team comes under market risk, so it is under risk department. Now, coming to scenario design team, here we analyze different scenarios for which we make macroeconomic projections. For example, like we have this recent situation with Russia-Ukraine. So we made two scenarios in that Russia-Ukraine mild and Russia-Ukraine severe. So for both these scenarios, one scenario is a mild scenario in which we assume that the war will be over in 2 or 3 weeks. Extreme scenario is one in which this war will lead to World War III. So for both this scenario, we make macroeconomic projections like in a scenario of extreme war, what will be the GDP, inflation, unemployment, and all these macroeconomic factors behave in that scenario for different countries. And in that situation, what will be the loss for Credit Suisse? Wherever Credit Suisse investments are more, we analyze that geography a little more. So in that way, we analyze and we have to keep up with the trends, whatever is happening globally, and also we have to analyze past situations like COVID or 2008 economic crisis, what happened there, how different macroeconomic factors from different geographies behave. So all that data we have to take into consideration, and we make different scenarios, we make different projections. What will happen if suddenly a global recession comes? So in that kind of scenario, how the GDP and unemployment and all this inflation will work out, and what will be the risk for Credit Suisse in that situation. So I think our day-to-day work remain in this line only. We have to analyze different situations. We have to make projections on that, and then the chief risk economist from Credit Suisse, he uh, he checks our projections. If he has any suggestions, then he comes back to us, and then we change it accordingly. He has a lot of experience in this field. He has been working in this field for 30 years now. So we if we have green flag from him for the final projections, then we go ahead and we submit it to other team, and that team runs it around and calculates what will be the loss for Credit Suisse in that scenario.
All right, all right. As you told your day-to-day responsibilities, I was really trying to figure out that, my God, it might be really challenging for you and how you're managing it. That's really great. You're getting a great learning from that by doing
Yes,
this
yes,
work. Right. That's great. That's great. So you have worked for ICICI, right? So
yes.
what were you working there and what were your responsibilities in that bank?
So basically, I will tell you a little bit about my MBA time before that. So during MBA, I did not have any inclination about finance. So in first year, because we had compulsory subjects in finance, I learned them and I performed decently in them. But I had inclination more towards marketing strategy side. So I took most of electives in marketing, just a few, one or two here and there in finance. Uh, but I won the campus round for ICICI Beat the Cup. So I had an interview with ICICI where I made them clear that I would prefer a part where I did not have to do much of finance, although they test me the in that field also, finance also. But I told them that I do not want a role which is specifically into finance. But then COVID happened, and the postings were delayed by 6, 7, 8 months, and then there was a vacancy in market risk department. So I was offered that position, that will you be able to work in that? So I said okay, if it is to be, it is to be. Then I joined there. Then I was put into the team of interested derivative valuation, which is like the core of finance. So there I used to work on like in FX team. So we have different products for foreign exchange, like exchange hedging, like different derivatives. So there we used to value them differently. We have forwards, we have futures for that, for with different currencies. So that was a hardcore technical finance job that I won't be able to explain very briefly, but it was in core finance. So I did face many difficulties for first 3 4 months, but after a while once you get the grip of that, it's all easy. Nothing is like what do we say, rocket science.
Yeah.
So there it was purely a finance job where I had to apply most of the finance principle that we learn in college, and also I had to learn derivatives as well during that job only,
Yeah, that's
because I did not take the derivatives electives during college, thinking that how what will I do with that.
that's nice. At least you got to know about the banking sector, how these areas and how these areas are worked. That's really nice. Now you have the knowledge of ICICI Bank. How do they run that?
Yes, yes.
That's great. That's great. So during your MBA time, have you ever faced a situation like this that you are interested in this domain, but you are getting internship opportunity for some other profile, like as you're interested in finance, but you're getting internship in sales profile that is marketing. So have you ever faced that, and how did you overcome that? Okay. Is that there any experience?
Yes, so I think uh, like I've seen a lot of people switching their streams during internship period or in finals period. So I don't think internship in itself is a make or break deal. Yes, you will be asked about that experience in final interview. And if you want to switch the stream after after internship in final placement, you are allowed to do that, but you have to have some strong explanation to that I always had an inclination towards this, but somehow I landed up during summer placement in that stream. So I think yes, I during my summer placement I worked in an IT firm of named Mahindra Comviva. IT was not new to me because I did my engineering in computer science, but as I said, I had an inclination in marketing and strategy part, but it was okay to me. Now in final placements, I like the number of companies that came in marketing and IT domain were very less. And specifically for IT, I think they prefer the work experience candidate. So I think I had to switch the stream to either to finance or consulting or marketing. So I think that happens with everyone. I know quite a few people who worked in mechanical sector, who did their internship in mechanical sector and then landed up jobs in finance sector, marketing sector, and even in IT sector. So I don't think that is a make or break deal, but yes, you have to prepare answers if you want to change your stream in final placement in comparison to your summative.
All right, all right. That's really great and very informative that you told that. And it's true that every student face this type of problems that they're interested
Absolutely,
in some other domain, but they are going in internship for other domain. And that's
it
I can see
happens.
with my also MBA.
It happens all the time. Even after working for 2 3 year post MBA, people switch their career paths.
Yeah,
Like I know quite a few people who have changed their streams altogether after 1 year or 2 years post MBA also. So it's not a very big deal.
yeah, that's true. I would say that they get a good amount of corporate experience, so they might get into startups like starting their own business and changing the line. Like they were working in a corporate and starting their own business of their own interest. Like someone is opening a cafe or someone is opening a agency, consulting agency. So mostly, though people I know they have done like this only. So any of your colleagues or friends have done like this?
Not that I can recall right now, but I don't think it's it's a very big deal. People do it all the time. Like any experience, anything new. Like I will just quote a cliche quote that whatever doesn't kill you certainly makes you stronger. So anything new, anything challenging, we should not have whichever interest you, we should be open to that. Even for the Credit Suisse role, just when I just said that in ICICI I got the hang of the work that I was doing. When I got to know about the opportunity in Credit Suisse, and it was in macroeconomics. So macroeconomics, it was something that I always had interest in. Like I was always reading about different countries, GDPs, inflation, how it behaves in papers and news, everything. During MBA, also I like the subjects of macroeconomics or economics in general. But as you know, in MBA colleges, there are very few companies who come for a role in economics department or
That's true.
something like that. Yes. So when I got to know about this opportunity in Credit Suisse, I just applied for it straight away because I knew that it is something very rare and I always wanted.
That's really true. Like you got the very rare opportunity in working in economics department. And I guess that many few colleges have these companies coming for economic role, like as you have you working as a design economist. That's really
Yes, yes, I was about to say that even Credit Suisse came to our college during final placement, but I was not shortlisted for it. But just because I did some during my period in ICICI also, I got the hang of different websites like Thomson Reuters and Oxford Economics. So some part of that was used in our work at ICICI also. So because I was interested in that, I used to visit those websites because I had access in ICICI. So that came in handy in the interview for Credit Suisse. So it always comes back, I think.
That's really true. That's very great and informative about you telling about that, how you got this role and how you're working for this role. That's very nice. So according to you, Akash, is there any skills required or anything required for this going into this job profile?
Yes, I think certainly. I think the basic understanding of economics is required. I think in MBA colleges we get a lot of subjects, especially in first year, who involve economics, which involve economics. But I think we need to understand the risk part of it because the team that I work in is comes under market risk. So every scenario we make is is from a is from the viewpoint of risk, like as I said, Russia-Ukraine scenario or a recession scenario or something like that. So in that situation, how the macroeconomic factor will behave, you have to have certain knowledge of that. In 2008 economic crisis, how different geographies behave, what happened there, what was its impact in housing price index on in different geographies. So all these things you have to have general awareness of that, and that is, I don't think it's a very big deal. You just need to follow the news. You need to follow what's happening around the world and what is its impact. So I think like in Russia-Ukraine scenario, we saw that oil prices will go up. So all these things comes in handy if you know already. You have something to discuss with the interviewer when he is asking you questions.
That's true. That's true. That's really true. That one should have a very, keen interest in economics. If you want to be an economist, then
Yes,
you should be very cope up with the trends that are going. As you give example of Russia-Ukraine war, and there are many other things that one economist should be aware of. That's really true. So, according, like, have you done any certifications for this?
no, not really, but there was a Bloomberg terminal in our college. So I did a Bloomberg core concept course that was available for free in our college. So I think that helped me a lot during interview because that course dealt mainly in economics part and how different geographies and how like global economy is connected. What will happen if there is a recession in Switzerland? What will happen in if there is a housing price crisis again in US? So what will be the global impact, the impact on market, global market because of that? So I think that all that was covered in that course that I did during my second year. So that came in handy. But apart from that, I don't think I've done any specific course in that. Just the MBA courses on economics.
All right, all right, all right. So, according to you, I would say to sum up that there is no certification required for becoming an economist, right?
General awareness.
General awareness. That's true. So, as you also know, you were also one time MBA student. So, how you used to work on your CV, to stand out of the crowd and corporate people focus on you. So, you can share with our viewers.
Yes, yes, sure. So, one thing that I really worked on during my MBA was case competitions. I during my first year, I was fascinated with the kind of ceremonies, with the kind of programs that used to happen in our campus for different case competitions, different companies, the prize money that they used to get, and all that, the bragging rights, so all that. So during second year, I thought that I will participate in every competition. I will just do this and that. So for first month, I think whichever competition we participated in, we failed our team. We were not even getting the campus shortlist. So then we thought, okay, this is not something that will just happen like that. So we analyzed what the things we have done. We analyzed the what winners are doing, and what is required actually. We analyzed the PPT of last year, who won the nationals as well as campus rounds. So there we realized that what we were lacking were quite a few things. So I think I will just explain briefly what needs to be there to be a winning PPT in a case competition. First, it should be a new idea. It should be something that the panel is not expecting. Second, it should be something that should be implementable. Many a times people give the example of blockchain and everything AI to small companies where it is not required, or if it is required, it will take quite a toll on their financial. Third, I think it should, in our time, it should deal in technology because it is something that companies are moving towards. Fourth, I think, is that people sometimes do not calculate the impact. It's always better if you calculate the impact, what impact your idea will do for that company. That will really impress the judges. So I think all this we analyzed, and then we started winning competition. We won the national round for Mintra Style Bees. We were finalists for different companies like L&T, ICICI, and quite a few others. We were campus finalists for Mahindra, Reliance, and other companies. So I think that helped my CV a lot during final placements because I got a lot of shortlisted in compared to my summer placement because of these case competitions. And also you will get PPI through them as well, direct PPI.
All right, all right. That's great. That one should be part of competitions also. Like studies are mandatory, but one should be part of competition so that they would help me groom up in the personality and everything, right?
Certainly makes you stand out among others.
So as I came to know that you have been a top 100 competitors in day two competition, DTC. So how did you manage competition and how did you prepare for that?
So as I said, these the things that we kept in mind while making our presentations, and also you have to manage your workload because MBA is a hectic time. In second year, you have to pick quite cleverly which competitions are you going to give your 100% in, and which are you going to avoid. One thing that certainly helps is to have a stable team, is to work with individual who can openly challenge your ideas, someone who is comfortable if you challenge their ideas. So I had the same team member, my friend Chirag, throughout all the second year competition. So even when we lost, as I said, initially a lot of competition, we stuck with each other. We changed the third person, but we stuck with each other. The core team was there. So that helped a lot. That helped a lot. Uh, and third is that uh, whenever whenever you participate in a case competition, you should not work on a deadline. You should always think ahead. You should always work on your ideas, even if it takes 2 3 days. No idea is coming. You should stick with it because once you have an idea that you believe in, the work will automatically happen. You will know how to present your idea because the idea is so original to you. And apart from that, as I said, it should be other things. It should be executionable also. You should know how to present it. You should, among yourself, you should question that PPT 1000 times. Any possible question that can come from judges, you should have prepared for that during the preparation time only. So I think that helped a lot, and because of that, we were successful in quite a few competitions.
That's true. That's so you have worked with a team for winning that competition, or you were single handedly managing it.
No, no, those competitions are mostly team-based only. Uh, that number of people differ. Maybe a team of two, three, four that can differ.
All right. So I must say that one should have a good team also. If you want
Yes,
to win, then you should have
surely,
a focus and good team, so that everyone is having a. If you are good in research, then
yes,
you do the research part. If I am good in analyzing, then you research and I will analyze that if there is any error. Then they should have a good
surely,
focus team with every.
surely, surely.
That's really
Surely,
great.
if you are someone with who is exactly like you, then I think the all the discussion that will happen in that room regarding that problem and the solution will be on same road. You need to be someone who has different skill set, you who challenges you, who thinks differently. I think that will make a good team.
That's true. That's true. So, Akash, as you might also be aware of the COVID era, like that
Yes,
started from the 2020. So,
yes.
were there any challenges you faced in your role, and how did you manage that?
So actually, we passed out in March 2020, just before COVID. We left the college in first week of March, thinking that we'll come back for convocation, which we never did. So I think after that, I was supposed to join ICICI in somewhere first or second week of May, but it got delayed. I finally joined it in October 2020. So during that time, once I got to know the role, I started preparing for that. I started working on my hobbies as well. So I think that period was something which where I was not uh, chasing something for the first time in my life. Other before that, I was doing something. I was preparing for an exam or going back to college. Something or other was there, but that period was really free for me. So for the first last 2 3 months when I got to know the role that okay I will be working in the finance sector, that period I utilized in preparation of that because I knew that the derivatives part will be a new thing for me in ICICI, so I prepared for that.
All right, that's great. That's great. That even if the challenges came, but you didn't stop yourself. You were working on how to improve it and how to manage that. That's really great and very motivating. That in that COVID era, you were joining. You were to join in May, but you got the offer. You
Yes,
wanted to join in October. That's how
that
I
was
can't imagine how you waited for so long.
yes. And when even when many offers were getting revoked, a lot of offers were
Yeah.
getting revoked, so that was a situation that was something very new for an MBA pass out.
Yes, yes. Because many, companies were going into losses, so they didn't had any option to
Yes.
revoke the employees. So every companies were started revoking. And so talking about the companies, so how do you think after the COVID era, how's the job market now?
I think I think uh, we can say that this period can be called the Great Resignation because I see people switching day in day out. People are switching like anything,
Mhm.
and that is because the requirements are different. Post COVID, we have a lot of people like myself. I've just been to office once or twice when I worked in ICICI. I've never been to Credit Suisse office. I will in a month or so, but that is something that is new for companies as well. Like for ICICI, we had a policy that we have to go to that location even if we are doing work from home, because that is some because there are many employees in ICICI who have to go to office anyway. It's not that uh, so that will be unfair for them if people are at their home and not at base location. So that was their policy, which I respect. So I think post COVID there is a for companies as well, they have to plan according to needs of people because the work from home scenario, permanent work from home scenario is new for companies. So I think they have to move to more omni channel model where people are flexible they can choose whether I want to work 4 days from office and work 1 day from home. I think that will be something that will be beneficial for company and for employees as well, because uh, you cannot just at least in these times you cannot just think that okay, people are working from home for 5 days and today I decide that office will be 100% open and everybody is expected to come to office from tomorrow onwards. So I think that will take some time. By that time, you have to move to omni-channel model where people are given the flexibility to choose their working place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's really great. And that that's really a nice advice that you told that people can come to 4 day office and one day they can do sorry, one day they can do work from home
Yeah,
because after this COVID era now everyone has shifted from work from office to work from home. And now people
yeah,
are lacking to come to office and work because of this work from
yeah.
home era. So you were also like facing that scenario only, right? Working from home only. And have you ever gone to office or you're going?
Yes, so for ICICI, they did the same thing. They started calling us office 1 day a week, and then they plan to increase it to 3 and so on to 5 days a week. So I went to office once, and then cases again started increasing in Mumbai. So I was in Mumbai. So in second wave of COVID started happening. Mumbai is always ahead in COVID wave. So the cases started increasing again. So I went to office once only in ICICI and Credit Suisse. I have never been to office, but they are calling now 50% offices are opening in Mumbai, and Credit Suisse has also opened their 50% occupancy from 1st of April. So I think gradually we are moving towards office. I will move back in April or May to Mumbai. Right now I am at my hometown. So I think gradually that step companies are taking. Everyone is calling, but they are not calling like from tomorrow you have to come to office every day. Everyone is aware of their employees' needs, so they are taking the gradual steps.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's really great. So now you will be very soon going to the office,
Yes.
which you have never gone. That's
Yeah.
really nice. So coming to the last part of the session, I would like to thank you, Akash, for giving your precious time and sharing your views and experiences about the different companies and your point of views. Any end message you would like to give to our audience and viewers regarding anything you want to say?
Nothing as such as that. Be open to opportunities whenever opportunity present itself. You have to be ready for that. You have to grow your network. You have to be aware of where your interests are, where you want your career to be. You have to take things as is. You have to be content with your present situation, but you have to aspire for more. You have to keep improving yourself. You have to learn a new thing every day in your work. Even though your work is mundane, you have to work towards yourself as well. Apart from your employer, you have to work on new skill set. You have to develop yourself. You have to try new things. You have to challenge yourself. I think that is something that everyone should do. And also positivity always helps. I also work a lot uh, on being positive in life, on taking things positively, not seeing the negatives. That is something that I work on in my
That's
personal life as well.
That's true. That's true. Because if you have a positive mindset and you have a positive mindset and positive attitude, then you can win anything or
Yeah.
success in anything. Isn't it
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's so. I would like to thank our audience also for staying for this podcast session and listening to us. Thank you, Akash. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pushkar. You were great. Bye.